Hi, my name is Terri Sproul, and I want to welcome you to my studio. Tonight is our live Tuesday night show, so if you are watching at a later date on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and think about joining me live on Tuesday night. Easiest way to find the link to watch this live is to join my group in Facebook called All Things Terri Sproul. So tonight we are going to do another art journal page. I'm going to make a confession. I'm not sure that the idea I have in mind is going to work out, so this could be a bust at the end of this channel show, but you never know. Might turn out to be perfect too, so you never know how it works out. I do have Joe here. He will be helping out with the links. Just for an FYI on that though, was it both stencils that we had trouble finding, or there was one?
Yeah, I found a place that had them, but I can't say they're in stock or anything.
Yeah, we had a little bit of trouble finding the stencils for you guys online. So if you are interested, the links we give, I would get it right away, because I know one of them there was only 14 left, and every place else that we looked was sold out of these particular stencils. And I didn't realize that when I started, so I apologize. But it's a technique. Remember, it's all about the technique. So if you like the technique, you can be, that can be transferred over very easily. Okay, that's my blog. We'll have all of the links also on my blog tomorrow. I'm going to shut that down, and we're going to change cameras and get going. Okay, did do a tiny bit of prep for us tonight, just because I wanted it to dry. This is the one stencil that, no, it was this one we had trouble finding, right? This is the one from Kaiser.
Both of them I had trouble with.
Okay.
I found a site with this one, but they don't say in stock or not. You just have to try it.
Okay, this one is from Kaiser Craft, and it's called Flutter, and it has like a lot more butterflies than just this. It had a couple more, but it actually is a big 12 by 12 stencil. So I did do this offline because I did want this to get real good and dry. And what I did is I used molding paste, and you guys have seen me do this a billion times, from Golden, molding paste from Golden, a spatula, and then this right through the stencil, and I added that. Now, I always tell you guys to clean your spatulas. Well, guess what? I didn't get mine perfectly clean, and I still had some paint on it, so the paint came up. So that's why there's some brownness in there. But we're going to work with that, right? As I always do. Okay, so I'm going to start off with using, that was my background, and this is good and dry. And I just thought that was just pretty, just like that. And I'm going to use silk acrylics glaze in iridescent gold. Okay, silk acrylics. And these are kind of fun. These work really, really cool on black paper. Most of the time, that's pretty much the only thing I use it on is black. But I wanted it to I wanted a really, really soft background. So that's why I'm going with this color. And again, I'm not sure exactly how this is all going to work, but I kind of have an idea, and I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to go with it. So you're not going to see a lot of color on this. It's going to be mainly white, but what these type of paints do is they give a shimmer. So when you move it, you'll see, because this particular one is gold. So when you move the page, you'll see the gold. Now, if you do this on black paper, the gold shows up really, really well. Actually, I'm seeing the gold already. I don't know if you guys are, but I can actually see it in there. So, like I said, I had an idea in my mind. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I wanted a really soft background, and I didn't want a lot of color in the background. I just wanted just a tad. Just a tad. So I'm thinking that this is going to work for me. If not, oh well, live and learn, right? So I did have, when I was doing the stencil across, this butterfly right here didn't turn out absolutely perfect. It was kind of hard to get that perfect mold done with the, I'm trying to grab another sheet for this side. There we go. Thought I had them both out, but I guess I didn't. So I've gotten a lot of subscribers lately on my YouTube, guys. I really, really appreciate you guys helping me out and getting that up there. I'm very pleased with that number. Well, I could want more, but you know, I'll be happy with what I'm getting. Okay. So again, that's a really, really light color. So you guys aren't seeing much. I want to quickly dry that. I want to talk about paper curling. People ask all the time, why does your paper curl when it's wet? What happens is when you have your paper is fibers and they go both ways like this, they actually weave. So when you get something wet on the top, that top part is wet, but yet the bottom is not. So that's why it curls up. So if I actually got this side wet, it would flatten out right away. It'll pretty much flatten out as I dry it also. So I guess my point is if you are doing a project and you are only doing it on one side and your paper's curling and you want it to be flat and it's not even flattening out when you dry it, take a paintbrush with some water and put a real light coat on this side, and that will flatten out your paper because now the fibers are both wet on both sides and then they'll flatten. Okay, that's dry enough. Okay, now this is the part I wanted to try that I'm not sure it's going to open. Class will not open. You don't know why. I'm not. I don't know. I can't help Susan because she can't even hear me.
Well, and I sent her the link for YouTube again, so.
Okay, appreciate that. I was going to say I can't even answer her because she can't hear me. If she's
Of course, the guy behind the scenes is on top of it while you fiddle
Thank
around.
you much. Okay, this is layered butterflies was the name of this one.
Yes, and I did find a place that has this. 14 of them, it says, are in stock.
And that's it. And this is a really cool stencil. It's got two huge butterflies on it. And then these are layers that can go inside the butterfly. So it's a really cool stencil, and it's a big 12 by 12. So my idea is, I'm hoping, not sure, like I said, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I'm going to go with it anyways. Where did I put my pen? There it is. Okay, so I'm going to use a waterproof pen, and this one is the Scarlet Lime, which are actually sold out, no longer even making them. So you could use your Pitt pen from Faber-Castell. That would also work because it is a anything that's Indian ink is waterproof once it is dry. So my idea is to take this big butterfly stencil and I'm going to attempt. Like I said, I'm not even sure this is going to work, but we're going to go with it.
Now remember, this is a professional artist on a professional course. We don't encourage you to try this at home.
And we're not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to try it. You guys are all my friends, so if I screw it up and it doesn't look good, I can take it off YouTube and not worry about it. If it works out good, if it works out cool, it could be one of my best pages. You never know. We're about ready to all find out how well this might work. So I'm just tracing the
And
butterfly.
of course, you chose to do it right over the seam. Try something new in the
Of
hardest place
course.
possible.
I kind of make it hard on myself. Come on. Okay. Let's see how that works. So there's my idea. We're going with it now. Now, I'm going to grab my really small paintbrush. Actually, let me just go in and get some of these lines a little better. So let me just fill in a few little spots. Okay, I like that. Oh, you guys, if you have not played the scavenger hunt over on Color Art yet, we are picking a winner tomorrow, so make sure you get over there. Okay, I'm grabbing my silks again, and I have all kinds of colors on my desk, so let's see if I can narrow it down just a little bit. Ooh, I like that one. Nope, got too many blues going already. I need a green. Where's my green? Okay, let me grab a green. The only color I don't see that I want to have. There it is, vintage mint. Okay. I got some numerous colors of acrylics on my silks acrylics. I got vintage mint, African jade, apple bloom, iris peel, and wisteria on my desk. And I actually have solar gold, but we're going to use that at the end. Unless this page turns out ugly, then I'm going to stop. Okay, and I also have water bottle on my desk because we're going to definitely be using a lot of water. So I'm going to start off with my paintbrush wet. And what my idea is I'm going to take my colors and I just want to do some general dabbing right around the edge. And this might take a little while, but I think you're going to see where I'm going to go. And then I actually want to make that drip. So I actually want to do this with each individual color going around. See, that's where I'm kind of going. Okay. Let me get myself a paper towel. I'm just going to go with the pink in a couple spots while my brush has pink on it. Now I kind of did a little bit of this idea the other night. And the one thing that I learned for sure is you can't really let the paint dry. It doesn't bleed as much. So while it's still wet, meaning you can't do all the colors and then do this part, you kind of have to do it one at a time, which will take longer, but you know, what us artists have to do to make our creations. That one's kind of dripping already. Okay, I'm going to change colors. Let's go in and grab African jade. This is such a pretty color. I say that to every single one of them, don't I? Okay, I haven't found one I don't like yet, to be honest. Wonder if that's possible to actually find a color I don't like. So you're not going to be putting your paint on real thick on here. And remember, you can always go back and add more paint later. So if it becomes too washed out after you spray your water, you can always come back and add a little more, you know, paint in there. Now, also what I learned the other day is my page ends up getting pretty wet. So I end up having to dry in between a little bit just to keep my page under control. So every once in a while, just give a quick dry. And that seemed to help it not be so, what's the word I want to use? You know, saturated. The page gets so overly saturated with water. This vintage mint, look at that color. Oh, just beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay. You know, it's kind of interesting. I did this technique the other day, and I didn't put a base coat down. So it seems to be taking, meaning, because remember how I put this, the gold in the background? It seems to be taking it a little differently. It's not soaking into the background, into the watercolor paper as much, which makes sense. And it's allowing me to actually have a little more time to play. So that's interesting. And the color seems to be a little more rich because it's not soaking in as much. So very cool. Love when stuff like this happens and you don't even know if it's gonna happen. That mint just doesn't want to move as much as the other colors did. Don't you know why? Interesting. Okay, I'll just go to another color. No big deal. Let's go with wisteria. We have up here on the mountain, we have a lot of wisteria plants, and over at the post office, they have a huge wisteria plant going around the post office, and it's so beautiful. I don't know if I've ever told you guys the story of our post office up here on the mountain. We have a very tiny little post office because there's only 300 of us that live up here. But the post office was actually in the 84 Olympics up at LA, and when it was for the athletes. It was their post office, and when they were done with it, they moved it to Palomar. So that's kind of a cool little fact. Oh, I'm sorry, Susan can't get the thing to open at all. I don't know what to tell her. You know what I might let her know in the future, because obviously I can't tell her right now, is try using Chrome if you're ever having problems, because Chrome is a Google-based program, or what do I want to call it? What's the technical name of it, Joe? It's not a program, it's a...
Tell me what you're... Say it again. Give me a shot.
Google over...
Google is a browser.
Is a browser. That's the word I'm looking for. So it's a browser, and Google is a... Chrome is a Google browser. So if you use Chrome, you might have better luck coming in over any of the other browsers, because Google plays well with Google. See? So this being a Google-based program, you know, this Hangout being Google, you might have better luck with a Google-based browser, is my idea. Is what I was trying to tell you. Well, this is just not moving as much. That's okay, it's still pretty. Okay, I'm going to keep going. It's not moving as much as I want it to, so I'm just going to quit trying to knock it around. I'm not going to beat it up anymore. We're just going to go with it, just the way it is. We'll just make it darker. So I'm going back to the pink that I started with, because it's such a pretty color.
And as a reminder, if you scroll up in the links, folks will find in the comments, you'll find the links for the silks acrylic glazes, the golden molding paste, and both stencils.
Because Joe rocks.
Wait, I'm going to make sure we record it. Is this being recorded?
This is being recorded. I just opened Iris Petal. Oh, God, look at that color. I mean, I don't even know if it's showing up as well. In person, guys, you really need to check these colors out in person. These colors are just magnificent because there's so many interesting colors inside the colors. I mean, you don't see just one color when you look in there. It's really cool.
Can I do a shameless plug for my birds on blocks?
You can.
Let me grab them. Hold on.
I did order those just recently. They're really cute, guys, these little birds on blocks. When he comes back, remind me to ask him the name of the company that he got those from, because I actually had somebody ask me that the other day and I couldn't remember it. And I know she happens to be in the room. So, okay. I know this is kind of like watching paint dry, but I apologize, guys. I think it's kind of pretty, though. Isn't it kind of turning out kind of cool? So it is working out. And I just opened Lemon Drop. Sorry. There it goes, focus. Lemon Drop. Look at this. Oh my God. So you got it, Joe?
I found them.
Okay, I'm gonna put Joe on camera real quick, and then I can come back. There you go. You're on camera.
So we have a kit here. We call it Birds on Blocks. And it actually is made up of lots and lots of little components. There's probably 10 things in the package. This project itself was designed by Kristen Batzel, and it originally appeared on crafters.org, oh my gosh, in September 2010. But we've kitted it up to make it easy for you to do. There are 3.5-inch blocks, and the blocks are covered with a paper called Conservatory, which is from Seven Gypsies, and it's discontinued. I bought all that they had left. So you can see all the cute little birds and eggs, and it kind of looks like, you know, where they mount the butterflies and stuff, museum mount. And then there's these little dowels, and then on top of the dowels sit these little tiny mason-like birds. That niche is only a 1/2-inch square, and one has a little rabbit, and one has an egg, and one has a little flower, and we gave one a crown, and one has feathers. And all this comes in the kit, but I would encourage you to make these your own. I mean, it makes no sense, right, to have a rabbit in the niche or a flower in the niche or an egg, but it tells a story to Joe and I when we walk past them. So put your own goodie. It comes with all these goodies, but put your own goodies in the niche so that when you walk past your little flock of these little guys, you'll have a little story that no one else will have. And I'll post the link to it. We have 9 kits left on our website.
And now, who was the company that makes those niches, the little bird things up on top?
The niches are from Retro Art Cafe. That's where the little birds are from.
Okay, thank you. Well, as you see, I've been painting along while Joe was doing his little plug. I was trying to remember that cafe the other day. I could not remember the name of it. So I added another color because I keep pulling out colors. This is called Pixie Pink. Look at this pink. Look at this color. If you are a pink fan,
there are so many things I could say. Nothing.
Be good. If you like pink, this is a pink. And you got Pixie Pink. And you should love that color, Mr. My biggest fairy I know. Look at how pretty this is. Oh, I'm liking this. See, I didn't know if this was going to work out, and I'm happy. I'm happy, happy, happy. Okay, what other color? Oh, I got Caribbean Mist on my desk. We all know how much we like that color. You guys have all drooled over that one. See, I got all kinds of colors on my desk, so I'm just using them all. Actually, I didn't grab any of the really dark ones. Like, I do have Wine and Roses on my desk, but that's kind of a dark color, and I'm just not going there. It's not what I want. I want happy, bright colors. Not that I'm saying that Wine and Roses is not a pretty color, because it is. But it's just a little darker than I think I was wanting in my little imagination here. You know, the bad part is I'm going to have to try to match up all these lids later. It's going to be fun. It's like, which one goes to which one? Okay, what else do I got on my desk? See, I also got Snapdragon on my desk, which is one of my favorite colors, but again, I think it's too dark. See, these two are really dark. Dark colors. And I think those are just, oh, kiwi. Oh, kiwi. I love kiwi. Oh, we're going to do kiwi. I love kiwi. This is such a pretty green. This is one I thought I had on my desk earlier. See that? Oh, look how pretty that is. Okay, and this one's called Kiwi. And this is kind of like almost like a fluorescent green. Where do I have a spot left? Okay, I'm running out of room, so I guess we're pretty close to being done on that part. Okay, that turned out better than I thought it might. I want it really to bleed, but it didn't want to do that for me. So, but I'm going to go for it one more time, just to see if we can get some bleeding going. If not, I might have to take drastic measures. That could have been bad. I bled a little bit, not as much as I want it to. So, let's see what we can do to make it bleed a little more. I have some dilutions on my desk, so I think I want to come up here. Oh no, better than dilutions. I know what I'll use. Give me 3 seconds. I'm gonna grab some gelatos. Gelatos. I haven't used gelatos in a while. Gelatos are from Faber-Castell, and I believe right now they are actually having a design team call. So if you are interested in gelatos, oh, I'm off camera, sorry about that. Put myself back up on camera. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna put some color across the top. I'm just gelatos are almost like a crayon, and they're thick, you know what I mean? They are paint, and you can take your finger and rub them on. You can actually, I have quite a few videos that I've used these on. But what I'm doing right now is I'm just taking them and coloring them a little bit up on here, up on top in a couple spots. And what I'm going to do, because I know these are water-based, I apologize, I didn't tell you that right off the bat. These are watercolors also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my watercolor, take these, and add water to them in a few minutes, and that's going to create watercolor for us. So I'm going to hopefully get some drippage from that. Okay. Now, where's my water? Okay, so as you see there, and you can barely see, I got to push these. My paint everywhere. I've got paint everywhere. I really need to put some lids on. Let me put a lid or two on here, just so I don't have a huge accident and ruin my whole book because I wasn't being careful. Where are the rest of my caps? Blue. And with the gelatos, you don't have to worry about getting them wet right away. Okay, I'm missing a cap. Missing a cap. Oh well, we'll find it. Okay, so I am going to spray these, and hopefully they are going to bleed for me. actually. Maybe we'll have to force it with a little bit of water on a brush. So I'm going to grab my paintbrush. That's quite wet. And I'm going to get it wet this way. I don't know if you guys can hear, but I'm having a catastrophe in my room. It just... Okay. Trying not to bleed the colors together. So this is working. I'm getting the water to get it to move. Okay. So I think I'm going to go in and put a little more color in there and see if I can get them to move even a little more. And this is what I like about doing art journals, is this is where I can play. And if I don't like what I designed, you know, I don't do it again. If I really like the technique, this technique can go onto a canvas. So that's kind of why I like art journaling, because it allows me to play with a technique like this and see if I like where it's going. And if I don't, no big deal. So I'm just getting some water to go on there and just make it drip. So I want it to drip. I want drippage. Looks like I'm gonna have to put more color up there. I'm getting drippage on the other page, the page behind it. Force you to drip. But if the technique doesn't work out, it's no big deal either, because it's like, oh well, I got to play. Okay, and my page is getting a little saturated, so I really need to do some drying here too. And yes, banging on your page like that really does help it drip. Okay, I think I'm liking that. I'm going to dry my page up a little bit because it's getting a little wet. You know, and I've talked to you guys in the past about this. You do need to be careful that you don't get your paint too hot, because it will start bubbling. So I wasn't having that problem, but just a reminder. A little bit of drippage there. Seems like this orange is dripping the best. I probably would have had better reaction for the dripping and everything if I had not put that coat on the background, because then my watercolor paper probably would have worked better and gave me more drippage. But that's okay. I'm liking it. It's subtle, but I like it. Okay. Let me dry again real quick. Okay. Now I have solar gold on my desk. Hold on, I gotta get a few more spots dry before I can do the solar gold part. Gotta be dry. Okay. I love to use solar gold to do just like little tips of your, to bring things out. I got a little bit of a blur going there. See if I can get it to focus. So I will take solar gold and just put it on my finger and ever so lightly touch like these butterflies that are floating around. I just want to give them a little bit of a highlight, and I'm ever so softly touching them. And have yourself a baby wipe by, because if you accidentally get too much, and of course I'm saying that I don't have a baby wipe by, if you get too much paint on it, you can either grab it with your other finger, or a little bit of baby wipe will also help pull that off. So if you do get it a little too intense, you can lighten it back up. Because I don't want it to be, I want it to be very subtle. Just to catch the highlights of these. Because as you know, because I put molding paste on these are all raised. These butterflies are all raised. Just want to bring them out just a tad. Okay, I'm liking that. Oop, too much. Oop, 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 oop. So I like to use the cap for stuff like this when I just want a touch of something. I won't even grab the jar, I just use the cap. Okay. Oop, too much. Too much. Okay, that brought that out a little bit. Now you can kind of see the butterflies in the background just a little bit, but they're still kind of subtle. Now I kind of think that they're standing out too much. I'm kind of not liking it now. That's okay. That's what it's all about. So I am going to grab a baby wipe and see if I can tone it down a little. I kind of liked it being more subtle, I think. So this is going to take off a little more of the paint for me. I don't know, maybe you guys liked it, but I didn't. But normally I do. I really like the gold solar to do little highlights. I think it just kind of made me lose my background, my butterfly. See, now it's coming back out. Okay, I'm happy again. And I'm going to grab some of the original colors I was using and just do some high touch-ups around my butterfly again, just to bring some of them back out. So I want that to stand out the most. Pixie pink. Okay. Perfect. See, it's kind of bringing it back out again. Be nice to have a mask for that butterfly that I could have laid down and then gone around it, but I don't. So they should make a mask. We should call them and tell them that.
Now you could have made that mask on your Zing.
I know, but I didn't think of it till just now. I heard my echo, that's why I stopped there for a second. Didn't think of it till just now. Because I could have made it on my Zing. Zing, for you guys who don't know what we're talking about, is a cutting machine. It's absolutely one of the best ones out there. It's made of metal, which is nice. It's not made of plastic, which most of them are. And it doesn't take cartridges or anything, and it goes directly off your computer. One of my favorite features about it is you can scan in an image, like a stamped image, and it will fussy cut that image out for you. That's just like one of my favorite features. And it'll cut vinyl, it'll cut stencil material. Well, cut chipboard. I don't know if I have the right blade, if it will.
Well, it depends how thick the chipboard's going to be. But
Yeah.
It does have more force than any machine in its class.
It does. It's a great machine. Okay, I'm just adding a little more bling to it. Okay, I like it. Okay, I have a quote off of my new set of stamps. I didn't tell you this, Joe. I apologize. It's not off the Make-A-Wish. It's the God, no, I can't even remember the name of it. Anyways, the quote is, "Every day is a new beginning, and take a deep breath and start again." So I stamped that using Indian ink on a white piece of paper. I'm cutting it out. I will get you guys the links for this stamp. It's not off the Make-A-Wish. It's the other new set of stamps I just made. The one with the bird cage on it and the fairy. I'm just going to cut it out. And then I think, where do I want to put that? Probably could have stamped it directly on there, huh? I probably could have, but I'm not going to. Trying to decide. Nope, don't like it there. I think I kind of like it right there. Okay, so I'm going to use a gel medium. But you can really use any type of adhesive you want. I'm a gel medium fan. To glue it down. The other nice thing about gel medium also, if you use, here's a good hint. If you use a dry brush, a brush that has not gotten any water on it yet, and I'm looking for one right now, you can use your gel medium and it will not do anything to the background. It will not reactivate anything. So if you're using something like dilutions or something that's going to, oh, I almost put that on upside down, something that's going to reactivate, and a lot of paints will reactivate when they're wet. If you use a dry brush, and it must be a dry brush, there can't be any moisture on that brush at all, it will not activate. You need to turn your speaker off.
Danielle wants to know where she got those scissors. If you show them, I'll look them up.
They're Fiskars. I've had them for quite a long time. Best scissors in the world right here. I highly recommend these things because they're from Fiskars, Joe. What cramps your hands if you have problems cutting, and I do, what cramps your hands is the holes that you put your fingers in to cut. These, as you see, do not have holes, and they just cut like that. And they do close, and you can tell that mine have been around for really, look how dirty they are. I'm almost embarrassed to show how filthy they are. But that tells you they're well loved. But they are Fiskars scissors. They work really nice. They're spring-loaded. They have a nice fine point to them. Fiskars should send me a new pair since I'm telling everybody how much I love these scissors. But these work really great, and you will not get your hand cramped if you use these. So anyways, because my brush was dry, even though I am going over the paint here, it will not activate and start moving because my paintbrush was dry. If my paintbrush was wet, the water in the paintbrush would move that paint. So it's a great tip if you're using something like dilutions or something in the background, especially dilutions, because they activate so quickly. Or even distress inks. Any of your distress inks, or I haven't played with the new distressed paints yet, or the dye's new paints anyways, because I love my silks, so I use my silks instead of them. But there's my page. I'm really happy with that. I think I'm going to leave it right there. And I didn't know if that was going to work out, and I think it did. What do you guys think? Tell me. Tell me what you think. Because I like it. I'm happy with it. And I need to find a top for one of my paints. Oh, there it is. Move this a little closer and I can show you this. Okay, I'm hoping, yeah, this is this. Let me get this all out of the way. Okay. So let's get a little closer there. See that? That did turn out kind of cool. There's that quote. That will dry more clear once the gel medium has a chance to dry. As you know, gel medium kind of goes on with a little bit of milkiness, for lack of a better word. And then my colors up on top kind of bleeding down. I'm running out of room. There they are. Oh, that's a good close-up right there. You can even see the iridescent of the paint that I put in the background. Even though it is white on white, you can see that little bit of a shimmer of that gold. So I like that. That really turned out good. I'm happy with that, guys. Thank you, Joe. He found my stamps. But all of my stamps are there, so if you want to order any of them, that's a good one. Okay, so there's my page, and I'm really happy with that. Hope you guys liked it as much as I do. I'm going to, yeah, I agree. I have problems with the, I think it turned out pretty nice too, guys. You know, like I said, I wasn't sure. I had this image going, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it actually worked. So I'm kind of liking it. So I'm going to switch back cameras to say goodbye. Okay, so again, like I said, I never know. Sometimes you just have this thing in my head, and this is almost what it looked like, except in my head, I have to admit, in my head, there was a little more drippage. But, oh well, I think it turned out pretty nice anyways. So thank you very much for joining me, and think about joining me again next Tuesday. I actually am going to let this one go on YouTube. And join my group, All Things Terri Sproul. If you have any questions on any products or anything, let me know and we will help you. And remember to go over to Color Arts Timeline and check out that scavenger hunt. You get 6 twinkling H2Os if you win. And there's only like 15 people entered right now, so you have a chance. So go to Color Art and check in and win that prize. It's not that hard, okay? Bye, guys. Have a good one.